Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Carl, the show where I cook stuff in front of a camera and explain everything as I go, because why reinvent the wheel? Today we have a very special guest joining us. His name is God. Come on out, God.
Good morning, Carl. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for being here, Lord. Now, as I understand, you're here to share a recipe with us.
Yes, today we'll be preparing one of my very favorites, a sin offering.
Ooh, that sounds delightful. And from what you've said before the show, this is a family recipe?
Yes, it's one I passed on to the Israelites in Leviticus.
Oh, wonderful. I'm excited to give it a try. Now, as I understand, this dish involves a lot of careful preparation, right?
It does. In fact, people these days really don't appreciate how refined this dish is. Most of them just have a vague idea that blood needs to be shed before I can forgive sins. So they just envision priests slicing open an animal willy-nilly and setting fire to the carcass wherever and however it hits the altar. But I actually have a very sophisticated palate, and a lot goes into preparing and burning a dish in such a way that its smoke will be a pleasing aroma unto me. Because trust me, you don't want to send just any smoke wafting up to my nostrils. Those of you who have read Genesis 4, Leviticus 10, and 1 Samuel 15 know exactly what I'm talking about. Am I right?
Well, we'll take the greatest care with your dish today. Now, as with any fine meal, the quality of ingredients is vital for this one, isn't it?
Correct. I only use the best from my people's flocks, and the animal can't have any defects.
And you never use frozen ingredients, do you?
Never. In fact, the animal has to have been brought into the kitchen alive and killed immediately before any preparation.
Ooh, sounds exotic. And we have a bull here today we brought in just for the show. Shall we kill it now?
Sure. But first, I need to make sure you're prepped for kitchen work.
Well, yeah, I always make sure to wash my...
I can see you're not a hunchback or... what's the polite word these days? A little person. And you're not crippled, and your eyes aren't all gross looking, so that's all good. But do you have any sores I'm not aware of?
No.
Are your privates disfigured?
Excuse me?
I mean, have you ever permanently injured yourself down there?
Oh, no. No, I haven't.
Good. Because I won't accept sacrifices from anyone with funny-looking guy parts. So go ahead and grab a knife and kill the animal. Now, I'm not too particular about how you kill it. The thing is, you make sure you put your hand on its head while you do it. Yes, very good. Now, you're going to want to dip your fingers into the blood.
And I'm going to splash this on the sides of the altar, right?
No. You're thinking of the fellowship offering. That's a totally different dish. For this one, you're going to go over and splash some by the curtain of the sanctuary, and you'll need to do it 7 times. Good, nice job. Now I'll need you to go ahead and dip your fingers in there again. Yep, get a good generous amount on there. Now go on into the tent of meeting and smear that blood on the horns of the altar of incense.
Okay, got it. So now are we done with the blood?
Almost. You just need to take the carcass and drain the rest of it at the base of the altar.
The altar of incense again?
No. Why would you prepare blood 2 ways on the same altar?
Oh yeah, silly me.
You'll drain it here at the base of the sacrificial altar. I'd suggest cutting its throat open, but you can do it however you... Yeah, there you go. Then just tilt the carcass and hold it there until it finishes flowing. Now some people, if they're feeling really ambitious, might like to drag the bull around the altar so that they get some on all sides. But that's just a matter of preference. I'm really not picky about that.
Okay, I think we got it drained pretty well.
Great, that's looking really good. Now while the blood's resting, we're going to prep the fat and organs. Go ahead and cut the fat out of the carcass and pile it all on the altar. Good. Then do the same with the kidneys. Yep, there you go. Then the liver.
Oh, so just like with the fellowship offering, right?
Exactly, nice work. Now soon we're going to light it all on fire and... Wait, what are you doing?
Well, since we're ready for the fire, I was about to throw the carcass on too.
Oh no, gross! You're not going to pile them all together. The fat, kidneys, and liver need to get burned on the altar, but the rest of the carcass, including the other organs and all the meat, get burned separately.
Oh, really? Where?
At the edge of town where you throw your ashes.
I've never used this method to incinerate a dead animal before. I'm very curious to see what comes from this. Now I'll need a moment to drag this carcass away and set everything on fire. We'll be back later to see how this turns out. Oh God, this really does smell delicious.
Yes, it truly is a pleasing aroma unto me.
Now I know you're partial to beef, Lord, but what if someone can't afford it?
Well, in a pinch, I'm happy enough to take a drag on the smoke from birds. In that case, you'd want to bring 2 of them. Alive again, mind you. Then twist their necks just enough to kill them, but not so hard that the heads come off.
And then do you just cook the birds the same way as the bulls?
No, the preparation for birds is much simpler. Just sprinkle some blood on the side of the altar, drain the rest, and light the body on fire.
Oh, so that's easy enough.
So anyway, for this one, you're going to want to keep the fire going so that this keeps burning overnight. In the morning, you'll put on linen underwear, take the ashes off the altar, take the underwear back off, and haul the ashes to a ceremonially clean area at the edge of town.
Good to know. Thanks, God, for being here and for sharing your recipe with us.
And thank you for having me, Carl.
And make sure to join me next week here on Cooking with Carl, when we're going to have Abraham on to share his secret for cutting animals in half and spreading them all over the ground. You won't want to miss it.